All right, well, Congressman Luis Gutierrez has represented the 4th District for quite a while. Every 2 years you have to defend that position, and this year his Republican challenger is Hector Concepcion. He says it's time for a change in Washington, and it is time to send a Republican to Washington to represent the 4th District. Hector, good evening. Welcome to Politics Tonight.
Thank you, Paul.
I'm sure people in your district know who you are, but let's go general now. Let me give you just a few seconds, if you would. Let people know about your background so people can get to meet Hector Concepcion.
Well, I represent the 4th Congressional District in different areas. I've been working in the 4th Congressional District since I was 12 years old, working in the community of West Humboldt Park. And right now I represent the majority of the Puerto Ricans who are in favor of statehood for Puerto Rico.
Now, you were born in Puerto Rico.
I was born in Puerto Rico in 1970.
And Luis Gutierrez is also Puerto Rican. Yes. So a couple of questions about that. First of all, number one, as I've looked at your website and done my homework on you, it appears that statehood for Puerto Rico is almost, can I say almost number one on your agenda to make that happen. Do you see that as a prime concern for the 4th District, for the people of Illinois?
I don't see it as a priority in my campaign. I see it as a level for me to represent the Puerto Rican community through not just the 4th Congressional District, but throughout the United States, including the 4 million U.S. citizens that live in the island of Puerto Rico. Luis Gutierrez opposes statehood, but I think both parties are interested in what is going to happen in the state of Puerto Rico.
Luis Gutierrez has represented the area. Look, he is a popular guy, and he's been in Congress a long time. Every time immigration is discussed as a topic, of course, Gutierrez grabs the president's ear on that. Why should, if you come in, you lose the seniority of Gutierrez, you lose the influence he has. So why is this time for a change? What is Congressman Gutierrez not doing right?
Well, let's start back 16 years ago. Luis Gutierrez lost the touch of the Puerto Rican people in Chicago. We feel abandoned by Luis Gutierrez for many, many years. He has not represented the 4th Congressional District to the level that we expect a congressman to actually work in the 4th Congressional District. Luis Gutierrez did not care to vote for some of the issues that are important in the 4th Congressional District.
Can you identify, do you have any of those in mind?
Yes, especially out of 428 congressmen, he actually has the worst record in attendance. He doesn't show up to work, and I'm pretty sure Ron Emanuel don't need a congressman that doesn't show up to work in Washington. He needs somebody to actually go and actually advocate for the 4th Congressional District so we can bring progress to the 4th Congressional District of Chicago. Representing the community of Humboldt Park, you got Pilsen, you got Little Village, you got Cicero, and some of the other suburbs. Luis Gutierrez has not been there for anybody. Wherever I go in the street of Chicago, I hear the same thing. It's time for change. It's time to bring somebody with new and fresh ideas. And I believe I'm that candidate. I'm the candidate that everybody's looking for a bright future in the city of Chicago.
All right, relevant to our discussion, a question from Facebook for you, which asks the question, both you and Congressman Gutierrez are both Puerto Rican. We've talked about that. But the question is, what about Mexican immigrants who live in the district? Will they be taken care of as well?
Exactly. I propose a nonpartisan immigration reform, which is creating a 4-year work visa for immigrants throughout the 4th Congressional District. Something that everybody's talking about. Hector Concepcion is making the difference, and he's not a congressman. Luis Gutierrez has been a congressman in 16 years, and he has no resolution for immigration reform. Actually, his rating right now in Washington, they gave him an F- in immigration reform. You have a congressman that talks about immigration reform, but he's actually discriminating against 4 million U.S. citizens that live in the island of Puerto Rico and wants to take away their citizenship, their United States citizenship.
Do you agree with amnesty for the illegal immigrants who are here, the 12 million that are here, grant amnesty to them?
I believe there's a process through the work visa to give the opportunity of those immigrants to actually understand the concept of actually working in America and actually going through a process of permanent residency.
Do you believe in sort of get to the back of the line? I mean, we hear all these things, and why it's been going on forever, they can't be able to figure it out. So in 15 seconds before we go to break, can you sort of say this is what it's about? If you're here, you can stay, but you got to get back to the line. Can you summarize it in a sentence or two?
Exactly. I believe that this issue has to be addressed where we actually give the immigrants that are already here the opportunity of actually learn the whole concept. They're working, so they have to learn the concept of paying taxes, buying property, getting cars. That's going to stimulate America, growth. And I believe they have the right, if they're already here, to actually get equality.
Okay. All right. Hang with me. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about jobs and the economy, because if you go off to Congress, Mr. Concepcion, it's more than just immigration. It's lots of things. We'll find out what Hector thinks after the break. Stay with us.